Only last month.
I know my friend.
Yeah. National Day, it's all legal. It is all legal. Yeah, and most of it is not much fair. What about the shade?
You will.
Let's call the order of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Report on any executive sessions,
There were none.
public comment.
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. Two real quick things. Do we have any update on Ken Hatter's lawsuit for the sexual harassment? Still haven't, crickets on that issue. And also the salary board public comment policy that these guys said was in place, but wasn't. Has there been any update on that? So I know I won't hear anything on that, but you can answer it later. Today marks 926 days of the longest unpaid, unjustified, unfair suspension of the two ladies in tax claim. It's ridiculous. I mean, you guys, I don't even know. I'm at a loss of words for it. But back on March 20th, I brought up about an employee, a volunteer, somebody in the tax claim office being brought in. You guys all looked at each other, including Mr. Bender, who's conveniently absent today. And you were all clueless. Nobody knew what was going on, who I was talking about. All of a sudden, April 3rd, let's sneak it on the agenda and put her in for $45 an hour as a consultant. Not only did we sneak it in on the agenda for $45 an hour, we backdate it to March 14th. I find that pretty odd because there's been multiple occasions where things come up in these meetings. Oh, there's Mr. Bender, great. And we were not to backdate anything anymore. Now we're backdating this to March 14th. I know you guys don't want to pay attention because you're busy reading other things, but it's all right. So $45 an hour for what? How long? How many hours? She was courted by Mr. Bender. She was begged to come back by the county. And very good friends with Boots. A little bit of nepotism there. She already proved multiple deeds that then Deb Dash had proved, and there were errors. For $45 an hour, they should be perfect. It's $90,000 a year salary. There were a few deeds that Mrs. Yike went through, then it went to Graver, then it went to Dash, and the recorder of deeds sent it back with errors. That's about $200,000 a year worth of salaries, proofing deeds, and then they get sent back for errors. Boggles my mind. I think Deb Dash needs to put the Twinkies down and get work done. Nobody in the office seems to know what's going on. Boots, you promised help there about a little bit over a year ago. Where's the help at? Still on its way? Unreal. I'm gonna go back to the campaign. These magnificent flyers that you guys spent tens of thousands of dollars on, all your political buddies that you gave kickbacks and jobs to. Larry, you said it's time to elect a public servant, not a politician. You're falling right in line with the guy next to you to your left. Serve the taxpayers. You want to get the job done. 3 months in, you think you'd get something done. You're almost like Biden in office for 40 years, not accomplishing anything. You want to right the ship. This is like Titanic #2 here. And you want to restore professionalism. Boots, you said proven leadership and integrity. That's the biggest BS line I ever heard. And I didn't curse, so you can't yell at me. Together, you both said you want to restore trust and integrity. I think the taxpayers are waiting on that. In case you don't know, Boots, integrity means being honest and having strong moral principles, which you don't have. And trust is belief and reliability. When are you guys going to start doing that? Thank you.
Any other public comment?
George Stankovich, Palo Alto. I'm here for the senior citizens of this county and for the veterans. I'll speak up till I finally see some action. I know it's always in politics, like Jeff said. When are we going to start thinking of mankind? Look at this weather out there. Remember the people that are outside right now living in tents, cardboard boxes. Okay, let's remember them right now and have a little sympathy for them. We have to get on board, starting with local government and state government, and then we can hit the federal government. All three are failing right now for senior citizens and veterans. I'm telling you now, it was a nice thing. I mean, I pity those property owners that had those vagrants on their property, but they were unlawfully there because that was private property. I understand that. But now where are they going to go? Huh? Did they find a home for them? I hope so. Let's look at mankind for once in a while. Forget doing bridges and things that are ancient. That project over in St. Clair, and now they're saying, and you read in the paper that it's not even really doing anything over there. It's built, almost done, or it is done, and it's still not doing anything. What they thought was going to help the Schuylkill County citizens, it's not helping them. Let's put food in their mouth. Let's get a roof over their heads. That's what's important. It's time to react. It's time to do something. It's a shame. And weather like this, if this doesn't wake you up, nothing's going to wake you up. Nothing at all. I'm telling you, if these three gentlemen aren't doing the job or for what they should be doing, then let's get rid of it. I have no problem with that. Let's put a person in there instead of a business person. Let's get a regular citizen in there once in a while. That's what we need. We need somebody that's having problems to get a job like this. A part-time job for $65,000 a year. There you go. Now, that person that's hurting could live pretty good up to $65,000 a year. It's more than double what I make. And my wife, who worked all her lives. If I lose my home, look out. I will bang with anybody. When an appeals thing comes up, if we don't get satisfaction there, it's time to be just like those 4 families or 5, whatever it was, that sued. And I'm sorry, but if that's the only way we can get money, that's what we're going to start doing. It's time to wake up. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Melinda Dybert, North Manheim Township. Okay, yeah, let's go back to some of these campaign promises. Hetherington, Pedora, commissioners, restoring trust and integrity back to the courthouse. Yeah, that's a novel idea, isn't it? Not really seeing that. County taxpayers are frustrated and dismayed, but the lack of transparency, openness, and honesty in county government at the present time. I think several county employees, especially in tax claim, stayed on because they were hopeful that you, Mr. Pedora, as a new incoming commissioner, would lay fresh eyes and your past experience to the office of commissioner and be able to render some sort of assistance and aid to that office. So much for that idea. Not only did we have 2 clerk typist 2 positions deleted, they were switched, this before you came on, Larry, sorry. They were switched to clerk typist 1. Why? Because we did have 2 female employees in that office who were conducting the duties of a clerk typist 2. Yet Deb Dash did not want to promote them or pay them as a clerk typist 2. So those positions, salary board members, Sharon, which I'm going to include you in on, those positions were deleted, and instead 2 clerk typist 1 positions were created at a lower salary. Now we have what? We're hearing a $45 consultant in tax claim. Dear Lord, bless her heart. She's an 80-year-old woman. Please let her enjoy her retirement years in peace and quiet. Instead, you're throwing her into the chaos that currently exists in tax claim right now. And the unjust, illegal suspension of the 2 tax claim employees, let them come back to the office, even though you think you're not paying them right now. You are. You are. You're paying their salaries, and you're going to pay double their salary in back wages. Get ready. It's coming. Gary Bender had no right as a county administrator to suspend those employees. That can only be done by the executive arm of county government, and that is the 3 commissioners, not Gary Bender as county administrator. And what is this $195 an hour for Al Marshall to handle labor relations for the county?
Time.
Can our own county solicitors, including you, Dave, handle the job of labor relations? Thank you.
Any other public comment? I want to answer a few of the comments. First of all, we're not allowed to comment on lawsuits. People can say whatever they want. We are bound by laws. You're not allowed to comment on lawsuits.
Is there an investigation being done?
That
has never been.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Okay, that I can say. There is an investigation being done.
You have to vote on
No,
that
no,
at a public meeting.
For an investigation, it's a prior investigation. There's an investigation being done. Also, I want to talk, George. I had an opportunity to meet with Tunnels to Towers yesterday, so that helped the veterans. And I will give you their contact information, and if you know any veterans that are struggling, from what I understand, they can help. And our county has been going out, and you were at the one event that Brenda had here, and then she's had another one yesterday. It was in Tremont. She had one here in
It was on
Boston.
at our senior center. too.
Yeah, you're seeing, and so she's trying to go out and outreach to the
Like
veterans.
I told her, Larry, there are ones out there that don't have radios, they don't have TVs, they don't get the paper, they don't get this information. And when somebody tells them something, I mean, a regular Joe tells them, well, just go to the office and see what they say. They say, I've been there plenty of times. And they're tired of going there. What am I gonna do?
Well, then give me a list of those people, and I will reach out to them personally.
Okay, when they come to us,
You give me their names, and I'll reach out to them personally. So that's where we're at with these things.
well, I take it to the office myself.
Okay,
And the next time they come around, anyway. They
okay.
don't wanna give us anything though, that's what I'm saying. They don't wanna give us the information even, they don't even do that. But
They cannot give you private information for veterans, so I want to move on with the meeting, but I'll provide that information to you, because it was actually a really nice meeting with Tunnels to Towers. Okay? Thank you. So we have proclamations here. We're going to start with,
I'll make a motion that we designate April as donate life month, also April as duck month for our folks that have this. Second.
another question?
Commissioner Bernard?
Yes?
Commissioner Heatherington? Yes. Commissioner Hess?
Yes. Connie, no. I need you to do that. We used to Linda doing that. So let's start the Donate Life Month. Is anybody here for Donate Life? There's a proclamation proclaiming April,
See you again.
the beginning of organized tissue donor, and one individual can save, thank you, and heal the lives of more than 100 people during National Donate Life Month. We honor the compassion and generosity of the registered donors and donor families and living donors, and recognize the commitment of research innovators, champions, regular partners, and medical professionals who work tirelessly to save and heal lives through transplantation. Everybody should be a donor. It's a good way to save people's lives. We appreciate everything that they do. And there's your foundation. You want to say?
Well, like he said, Larry said, I appreciate everybody thinking about becoming an organ donor. Without mine, I wouldn't be here. The 25th of this month, I'll be out 15 years with my new heart. Everything's going good. I still do everything. I thank the mayor too for flying the flag, the organ donation flag. So if anybody wants to become an organ donor, it's very easy. Just sign up, .org, go to when you get your license renewed, anything. It's very easy. If anybody has anybody that's waiting for any kind of organs or anything, call me, get a hold of me. I'll help you. I'll try to get you anything you can do to get you straightened out. Any questions, anything. And thanks again. I appreciate what you guys did. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Gary.
Congratulations. Good to see you every,
Do you want to say
good to see you every year. So.
Thank you.
Again, you've been a great spokesperson for many years. I know you've been here year after year. And again, you're a testament to, the gift of life. If you have something, I know that tragedy strikes, but again, you can extend life to someone else when you do that. And definitely, you have done that. I have to pat you on the back many times. You constantly give, you've had your struggles, but you've overcome them. And again, you constantly promote the program. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you again.
When Paul Kennedy's mother passed away, I called him, my condolences, and he very quickly switched the conversation from me feeling sorry for him to say, Boots, my mom, to organ donorship, saved quite a few people. So I mean, that always be on the positive side, and it's always good to see you, and God, you're in good shape. You're better shape than I am.
Better shape than I am.
Thanks. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Proclamation for Duck Month in Schuylkill County. If appropriate weather, if you want to come down the duck, ask to use back guys. Come on down. Whereas on Sunday, April 28th, 2024, Avenues will hold its 36th annual duck race on the banks of the Mill Creek in front of the St. Clair Walmart Supercenter in St. Clair, Pennsylvania. We appreciate everything you do, Avenues, and you do a good job, and we appreciate the duck. It's appropriate weather for the duck. It's raining. But that's not wet. I got wet coming in the duck did. So we appreciate everything Avenues does for the community and everything that they do. And the duck race, I bought a few ducks. If you can see, they're still available for sale. So everybody else go out and buy ducks to support Avenues. So do you have
Also
anything to say?
available down in the canteen. So if you're here in the building, you can get them. And many locations. Pete, would you like to say
Yeah, I
a
just
word?
want to actually thank everybody. Without the community support, we would have never got this far with our duck race. It's amazing. Community helps us every year, helps Avenues every year, meet our mission to support individuals with disabilities and their families. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We recently went to the Avenues event up in Mountain Valley. How many families are served by Avenues? How many people?
In Schuylkill County, we have 300 individuals that we serve every day. Regionally, it's about 800.
Pretty amazing. My mom's best friend from high school all through life, Helen Grove. Her son Russell was an Avenues client for many, many years. And right now, my cousin's son, Jonathan Summers, is an Avenues client. So we appreciate all he's done for both Russell and also for my cousin, Jonathan. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on with the meeting. Cheryl Foods, grant writers.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Today, I present you with approval to enter into a cooperation agreement with Porter and Tremont Townships for a CDBG competitive water tank project. Next, approval of an amendment to CDBG contract C000738804 with GCD, extending it from April 20th, 2024 to July 31st, 2024. Next, approval of a change order number 3 to a contract with Aquatic Resource Restoration Company for $35,000, increasing the contract from $1,468,550 to $1,503,550. This change order is for a 4-inch under drain system to eliminate ponding, flapper gates to prevent backflow, and minor wetland cell changes. Next, approval to enter into a cooperation agreement with the Borough of St. Clair for demo projects located at 6 South Mill Street, 212 Cherry Street, 28 North Nickel Street, and 113 to 115 East Hancock Street. And finally, approval to enter into a cooperation agreement with the Borough of Shenandoah for demo projects located at 0 North White Street, which is parcel 64-5-76, and 421 West New York Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Word of prison.
Good morning. On behalf of the prison, we ask for approval of a contract with H&H Service Company, Mechanicsburg, PA, to provide planned maintenance of 5 Greenhead RTUs, rooftop units, ventilation system at a cost of $12,801.50. The term is March 18, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Finally, for approval of a contract with McClure Company, Wilkes-Barre, PA, to provide check operation and cleaning of the air filters, evaporator coils of the cooler and freezer at the prison in the amount of $3,556. The term is April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025.
Thank you. Engineering, Lisa? Morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Commissioners. One item on today's agenda, I'm requesting approval to appoint 2 individuals, Dave and Geraldine Sarno, who are both members and officers of the Pumpy Association, to the Schuylkill County Park and Recreation and Open Space Study Committee, and to replace Renee Del Val Buchanan as the representative from the Schuylkill County Chamber of Commerce, with Tom Yashinsky as the primary chamber representative, and Robert Carl and Samantha Shabinsky as the chamber's alternates.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation.
Drew Klein with Parks and Recreation, asking for approval of a 5-year lease to own for $35,651 through Mock Chunk Trust Company for a new Bobcat articulating tractor and mower, and this is a CoStar quote.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Conservation District.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
A motion to approve and adopt the documented memorandum of understanding between the Schuylkill Conservation District and the County of Schuylkill, which will serve as the framework of who funds which parts of the Conservation District office and its services in the County of Schuylkill, Pennsylvania.
Just a question, just to clarify things. I know your board and also your staff was fully aware of the MOU,
Yes.
and everybody was in agreement from what I understand, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, and this would go to our district board meeting this month.
okay, all right, thank you.
County Agricultural Land Preservation. Morning, Council.
Kelsey Brown, County Agricultural Land Preservation. Based on the recommendation of the Ag Land Preservation Board, we are seeking approval for the reappointment of Keith Mosser, Kent Hefner, Glenn Hetherington, and Stanley Fither to the County Ag Land Preservation Board for a term of 3 years, beginning January 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2026.
Thank you. Office of Senior Services. Morning, Deanna.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Deanna Orlovsky, the Office of Senior Services. Approval of an addendum for fiscal years 2023, 2024, and 24-25 with Claire Lawrence of Cambola, PA, to increase the contract an additional $25,000 for fiscal management services and training. The revised contract cap will be $47,500. Approval of a contract for January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2026 with Hydro Clean Incorporated, doing business as All Shred of Moscow, PA, for off-site and on-site shredding services. The contract cap will be $8,700.
Thank you. District Attorney's Office.
Morning.
Morning,
Commissioners.
My name is Mike Stein. I'm the First Assistant District Attorney. And this is for approval of an application, a grant application requesting $16,547 for Schuylkill County Victims of Crime Act Grant ID 40404-2 between the County of Schuylkill and PCCD. Funding will support year 2 activities already occurring through the Victims of Crime Act 2023-20 or through 2025 funding award.
Thank you. Solicitor's Office. Paul Boomer, Finance Officer.
Commissioners, good morning. This morning, there are no budget adjustments for either the prior year or the current year.
Thank you. Barry Bender, County Administrator.
First item is request the Board of Commissioners ratify the designated approved contracts for the month of March 2024. I'm asking for a motion at this time.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Any questions?
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Under consulting services, I know it's $45 an hour, and it's from March the 14th to April the 10th. How much was spent on that altogether? I know it's all that.
I did not receive an invoice for those hours at this time, but I would imagine in that period of time, it might be, I don't know.
Okay.
She's been here on like 3 days a week on that, so we should go for that.
If you can get that to us.
I can, yeah.
Appreciate that.
And
Also, how did we come up with the $45 an hour?
That was the standard one we had used before when Mr. Lou was here. I think it was at 40 to 45, and that's something we negotiated at $45.
do we have a cap on how many, it can't exceed how many hours?
It is as needed only, yes.
It's as needed only. Okay.
It's not a daily basis as needed.
I think initially there will be more hours, later those hours will decrease as time goes on, obviously.
Should probably table it if you just don't know what you're doing.
Oh, my God.
Okay. There's a motion, a second on the question?
Commissioner Fedora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
The next 4 items, I defer to Mr. Zook. I think Frank is here today. If he's not here today, then I'll read those motions. It's
Okay.
related to a couple of projects with SKIDA. First, the approval resolution authorizing the county to be the host municipality for a redevelopment assistance capital program, RACP application to be submitted by the Schuylkill County Industrial Development Authority and Schuylkill Economic Development Corporation. Applications for $750,000. Related to that is approval cooperation, indemnification, and reimbursement agreement with the Schuylkill Industrial Development Authority, SKIDA, and SETCO related to submission and administration of the above RACP application by SKIDA. Next, approval resolution authorizing the county to be the host municipality for a RACP application to be submitted by SKIDA and by SETCO, and the county as the co-applicant. The application is for $4,800,000. Associated with that, approval of a cooperation, indemnification, and reimbursement agreement with SKIDA and Espoma Company related to the submission and administration of a RACP grant application by the Schuylkill County Industrial Development Association. Next, approve a contract with Marshall, Borad, Thornburg, Price, and Campion to provide legal services and represent the county for labor and employment matters as defined in the engagement letter. The fee for 2024 will be $195 per hour. The contract will be a yearly contract to be reviewed and renewed annually. Last, approval of contract with Susan Graver for the consulting service for the Schuylkill County Tax Claim Bureau. The hourly rate is $45 per hour. This will be an as-needed contract subject to the county terms and conditions.
If I add, I did speak with Frank because this morning he couldn't make it today, but the amount of money for the Espoma contract is $4.8 million. What took place was there when they started the construction of that facility, they got a lot of unforeseen site preparation problems. And they actually came to the county looking for help, and Frank Sukas steered them toward the Department of Agriculture. This plant's gonna take chicken litter and make organic fertilizer for home gardeners. and we funneled back through the Department of Agriculture to the governor's office. The art grant came from the governor's office. Like I said, this was not unforeseen hurdles they got into with site preparations, and that's why this money's coming through from the, like I say, it was done through RCAP, through Governor Shapiro's office, so.
Public Defender's Office? So you did the motion, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before you, I thought he was gonna go through the rest of it.
Oh, I can do that.
But I have a question right at the last one on the consulting services. First off, on that, on bringing Mrs. Graver back in, again, I understand the office, at least 3 people have left the office and transferred to different things, and I know they're shorthanded, plus other litigation issues that are within that office. So I understand that, you know, the importance of that office and the importance of the financial stability of this county lies within that. I can understand that. I would like to, though, to see that this contract be limited to no more than at least 3 months. I don't want to put an unfounded cap that it goes on for eternity and nothing's ever fixed into this office. So, and if at the end of 3 months, hopefully, there's more people that are hired into that office or things are resolved or whatever onto that. Also, I think on any contract, on $45 an hour, there should be a cap, a top part to that we don't spend more than that amount of money, just to be conservative. To try to hold these things in to limitations, because I know they continue and we never get to the end result. I know we need some assistance over there to do some things, but I don't want this to be forever. This isn't the, what do you want to say, the solution, excuse me, the solution to this problem. So in that, I would like to see that motion be changed to at least a time limit and also a cap on that whole thing.
That's acceptable.
Excuse me.
Karen, do you have anything else?
If the public defender's not here, I can read his items.
There she is.
She's there. Karen, that's, I was looking at her, I said, public defender, Karen.
Okay.
Karen's sitting right there.
We're looking for the approval of a contract with Batterman Engineering LLC for expert witness testimony in forensics, accident reconstruction, and biomechanics in a criminal court case for the term of March 25th of this year to April 1st of next year. We don't know exactly when it'll go.
Okay, thank you, man. Affordable housing.
I think David Young is here to give
David's
us
here,
some
okay, David's here.
Morning. Morning, David.
Thank you, Commissioners, for giving me the opportunity to present on the 2023 Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, their annual report. Since the program inception in January '96, over $6.6 million has been collected and allocated for affordable housing initiatives throughout the county. Affordable housing efforts are described as any program or project approved by the County Commissioners which increases the availability of quality housing, either sale or rental, to any county resident whose annual income is less than the median income of the county. The report focuses on the past 3 contract years. During 2021 through 2023, the Schuylkill County Commissioners have awarded $635,956 in affordable housing grants. Those grants include $429,166 allocated for housing rehabilitation efforts, $11,677 for housing foreclosure counseling efforts, $148,169 for transitional housing for homeless clients, $46,944 for homeless prevention and diversion, and additionally, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board sets aside $10,000 for any projects that may come up during a contract year. These grants have leveraged an additional $3,221,846 in additional funding to further affordable housing efforts. Leverage resources include fair funds, HUD funds, HAT funds, and home investment partnership funding. I'm going to do a brief talk on some of the open contracts. We do have one contract open from 2020. That is the Schuylkill County Mortgage Foreclosure Diversion Program. That program was granted an extension. During the pandemic, there was foreclosure protections that didn't see anybody really getting foreclosed on. That contract has been extended to June 30th of 2025. Our 2021 contracts have been all spent out. $198,184 in funding, which supported homeless prevention activities, transitional housing for domestic violence, modernization work at the Minersville and Ashland high-rises, housing counseling services, and a senior disabled home repair program. 374 Schuylkill County residents benefited directly from the funding. In the 2022 contract year, there is one open contract that is with the Hope Center. That contract will be spent out imminently. They just submitted a payment request and completed a monitoring, so that program is going to close. The other initiatives funded during that were Servants to All for homeless prevention, Schuylkill County Housing Authority, Shenandoah paving and sidewalk replacements, senior disabled housing repair program, and the Bridge House Transitional Shelter. The 2022 contracts awarded $239,000 in funds, and 114 individuals have benefited directly from that funding so far. In 2023, the contracts are Bridge House Transitional Shelter. That contract has been spent out. Open contracts includes homeless prevention through Servants to All, Schuylkill Haven high-rise modernization work at the Housing Authority, senior and individuals with disability housing repair program, and a transitional project-based voucher program for domestic violence. In the 2023 contracts, $198,752 have been awarded in funds. 36 individuals have benefited from the funding so far. That's still pretty early in the contracting stages. Most of those programs been opened up. For the 2024 year, RFP was released on March 28th. There will be $146,990 available this funding round. Those applications will be due to our offices at Schuylkill Community Action on May 3rd, 2024. We will have an Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board meeting on June 3rd, 2024 to announce those two review presentations and those applications to make funding recommendations to the commissioners. I would like just to share two testimonials from the funding. This is from a client from Servants to All, Plessy Lynch. Servants to All from day one has 100% of the best interests of anyone in need of shelter and funding to give a second chance of unforeseen life difficulties. I am truly grateful for a company like Servants to All. This place feels like a second family and home. All staff members are loving and kind. I highly, highly recommend and appreciate the help. Another testimonial from case manager at Servants to All. These funds support individuals who do not fall in the criteria for other funding streams. Without this assistance, we would not see most of these clients being evicted from their homes and being in shelters, when this is another means to divert necessary resources to the most affected by the lack of affordable housing in the area. That's the conclusion of the presentation. I do have some photos from the senior disabled repair program that I can share with you guys and go from there.
Thank you.
Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you for what you do.
Community Action has done a terrific job. I think you just touched the baseline of a lot of things and a lot of programs that you do throughout the county, and we appreciate the partnership that you definitely have worked between us and also the citizens.
Yes, that public-private partnership is essential to change people's lives here in the county.
You've done an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
What's the annual income of that range?
It's 100% the area median income. It varies based on household size. I think for a household of four, it's around $65,000. Don't quote me on that amount, but that is something that we can look up. So that goes by the area, so it's going to be specific to Schuylkill
And that's
County.
only two people?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I don't have the income guidelines with me, but that's something that I can look up and get to you.
What's your email, Dave?
D Young,
Uh-huh.
D as in Dave, Young, YOUNG at SchuylkillCommunityAction.com.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And your offices are just down the street.
Right up from Senior Center, right?
Well, that's one of our offices. I'm on 2nd Street in the administrative office.
Anthony, human resources.
Yes, we have for your consideration a revision to the pension and retirement plan policy that requires employees intending to retire state that fact in writing. It also adds language requiring employees intending to retire to be at work on their final workday prior to retirement. Those were current practices. They just weren't in the policy. This recognizes those practices.
So they weren't actually written in, that was the current.
Yeah, it's
voting
what,
policy.
right, it's what we
by
were
word, but
doing.
It wasn't in policy form, correct?
Correct.
Any personnel actions?
And yes, we do have some personnel actions. In 911 communications, we have 3 appointments. Levi Bettinger as a telecommunication trainee, the rate is $20 per hour, effective 4/22/24 per the contract. The appointment of Michael Fry as a telecommunicator trainee, the rate is $20 an hour, 4/22/24 effective date per the contract. And the appointment of Lorianne Lazarski as a telecommunicator trainee, the rate is $20 an hour, effective 4/22/24 per the contract. In children and youth, we have the appointment of Jocelyn Harash Barrett, County Caseworker 2, the rate is 22.3836, effective 4/29/24. It is per the contract. All appointments are pending drug test and physical where appropriate, and all actions involving salary or for positions being created are pending salary board approval. That is all.
Thank you. Okay, just a quick comment. I'd like to thank all the employees of Schuylkill County. The climate survey appendices and results will be sent to all department heads here as soon as the meeting's over. Then a couple hours later, everything will be available to the employees on our internal internet system, that they'll be able to review everything and see the climate surveys. I just want to thank, we have a really high participation rate in the climate surveys, and it's helping to move our policy revisions and be compliant with the DOJ. That's the thing that I was talking about that's in the 45-day review. We're in the 45-day review process of the recommendations. After it goes to the DOJ, with their approval, then those recommendations, and when we agree to it, then will be implemented into our policies. So we're in that 45 days, but I just want to thank the employees of Schuylkill County. They said the DOJ and that, so we had a really good participation rate. I think it was 65%. 65%.
Even the company that conducts these on a regular basis said it's extremely high.
Yeah.
That means everybody took it seriously and participated. Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody, and all that information will be sent out to all the departments. Do you have anything else?
No, again, just thank you, and that's the only way that hopefully you can make changes and look at different things and looking from what the decree put in there. So we appreciate the input from all the employees.
So thank you once again, everybody.
Yeah, the 2 things I want to bring up, the nonprofit COVID program is wrapping up. And our folks at NEPA, Kurt Common, will be issuing checks about mid-April. And some of the bigger names you might recognize is the YMCA, the Pioneer Tunnel, Tamaka Partners, the Schuylkill County Fair, and several fire companies that they gave applications were granted. And once again, all these COVID operations, you take the income you had in 2019 versus 2020, and if you show a loss of revenue from having shut down your fundraisers to receive. Not everybody applied got a grant because they couldn't show this differential. But the original COVID CARES program, originally ARPA, and also with the this one here, and once again, it has to do with the comparison to 2019 and 2020. Secondly, I got a call last night. Gerardville had a little bit of mishap, 129 West Main Street. The house started to collapse. It's been on our tax rolls for 3 years. It's delinquent taxes. The borough had reached out several times to the supposed owner. They even tried last night this morning. This is a lady from New York State that they can't get an address or phone number from. The scary part about it, I realize we have a lot of these properties all over the county working on, but the scary part is the place next door had been torn down previously, and it was a children's park was put in there. And the fear is this thing could fall over. Right now, the park is closed, but you can't keep police at day and night, so I want to commend Gary Bender taking calls last night, also Ron Zimmerman, working with the folks in Gerardville and with our solicitor's office to get the ball rolling. We're in the process of, code officer this morning did an inspection and condemned the property. The owner's being sent a condemnation notice, and the plan is to get it torn down before someone gets hurt. So I want to thank our, all that they do in demolition, Cheryl and Ronnie and Gary to stay on top of it. Like I say, they were taking phone calls late last night trying to get this thing worked through and before a public hazard takes place. So thank you for your help. So.
And we have a list of the people that got the grant that can be provided to the media. And I just want to congratulate them all. We had to call a few and make sure they did their applications. So, have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Salary board? Oh,
Commissioners, I would just like to mention for the record, this morning there was a bid opening. It was in connection with surplus vehicles. The bids will be reviewed and awarded at a future date.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Salary board, report of any executive sessions? Any public comment for salary board?
All right, first off, with the property in Gerardville, if we would stop the sale of properties to out-of-staters, like I recommended years ago, these absentee landlord problems won't happen. Do what a lot of the municipalities do, make sure you have the property owner or the property manager within 15 miles of the municipality, and they're on the hook for things. That will cut down on a lot of this, but thanks for taking action on that for Gerardville at least. The climate survey, will that be released to the public when it's all finalized with the DOJ? And I think the reason why you had a decent turnout on it was because people are pissed. I mean, that's just plain and simple. And there's quite a few that were, I guess, scared to even do it that I talked to. Well, you don't have a salary board that follows who's relaxed. You never had one in place. It was supposed to be provided to me, and there's not one on record. The way that the laws are written, you can't enforce anything because policy, state law oversees policy. So plenty of people were scared to even fill them out. The investigation that we talked about earlier, was that an internal investigation or is that an outside company doing it for Mr. Hatter? So you can't tell me who's doing the investigation. I'm not asking for details of it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh,
Is it an internal one or is it an outside one?
You can't, it's, because it's in soup
Last
right now.
time he's had one on somebody else, he's announced it.
We can at this time.
This is just an extension of the 3 minutes from the last meeting. I don't understand why we're discussing.
Because you have no policy in effect and you're cutting off my time now. Understand what you're talking about. Let's go back to the tax claim and the salary board issues, okay? The reason why the office is in shambles is because of failed leadership. That's why people are leaving. Correct the problem and you won't have the issue. Get rid of her. When you're sending emails out about Boilo and Twinkies and not getting work done, and it looks like Mount Everest there with a pile of papers, no wonder people are leaving in droves. Larry, you went down and seen the mountain down there. Go down and talk to the people. Ask them why they left. Did you do exit interviews for these people when they left?
Jeff.
I'm sure they'll tell you.
You're off the beaten path here for what's on the agenda for salary board.
Well, there is nothing on the agenda for salary board. It's very vague. But let's touch on the $45 an hour pay. Again, we're backdating. Why are we backdating it? You guys sit up here and you literally have absolutely no clue what's going on with that consultant fee, $45 an hour. None of you had a clue.
Stop this time. That's not true. That was done on a designee contract, okay?
Then why are you sitting here asking questions? What's the cap on it?
You're asking questions.
Exactly. You have no idea because he's the dictator of it. He's the one with the puppet
Jeff,
strings.
your time's
Okay?
up, please.
$45 an hour. Okay?
Jeff, your time's up, please.
That's not 3 minutes. He just said to stop my time so he could interrupt me.
Just finish your sentence.
$45 an hour is ludicrous. Lou, what is his name? Tony Lou or whatever. He was at $40 an hour, not 45. There's not one of you sitting up there that have a clue what's going on. He's the one pulling the puppet strings over there. And Al Marshall getting paid $195 for labor relations. I overlooked that in the agenda. That's nothing like a kickback. I mean, what is the solicitor's office doing that they can't handle labor relations? That we have to hire another outside source? I mean, you can't even come up with a salary board policy for a month now. Because he's never had one in effect, but you wanted to keep enforcing it, remember? Being your dictator, you wanted to enforce it.
Okay,
But there's a policy, there's no policy in effect.
Jeff, you're over 3 minutes.
I'd like to, okay, I'm gonna check that,
Okay,
because I guarantee you're wrong. First Amendment violation again. You're turning just like it, it's just like it. There's no policy in effect, Larry, you can't
it's a
enforce a
3 minute,
policy.
it's a 3 minute thing.
Who
for public comment.
was clocking it?
Dave was, and
No,
you
he
said you
wasn't.
were over. Yes, you
No, it
were.
wasn't.
Did you clock it?
I'll be able to go back and look at it, I guarantee you're wrong.
Well, if I am, then you can have the remainder of the time at the next meeting.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yep.
Any other comment from public salary board?
I heard that. Gotcha. Melinda Dybert, North Manheim Township. Can we get a copy of the job specs for that $45 an hour contracted employee and tax claim? I'm wondering, is she helping out at all with Kent Hatter's responsibilities in tax assessment? So Gary, do you have that? Do you have her contract or whatever, since you're the designee who's approving all of these things? Okay, no response, gotcha. That'll be another right to know.
Is he awake?
Okay, who knows? I'm wondering, Boots, do you know, did EMA assist with that Gerardville incident that you were talking about? Did our EMA department assist with the Gerardville incident that you brought up?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, good point. Still trying to figure out what's going on in Emergency Management Agency. On October 4th, 2023, so Larry, before you got on the board, and you may not have been paying attention to what was going on back then, but like I stated previously, I raised my objections at that meeting. It was a work session meeting that was held, but yet action was taken at a work session meeting instead of waiting and approving actions at the following board meeting, the following week. 5 positions were deleted, 5 positions were created. John Blickley was promoted to Director of EMA at a salary of $80,000, which is now with a 3% rate increase is probably around $82,400 now. $12,000 more than John Matz was making when he retired as Director of EMA. And he just retired in 2023. So after almost 20 years or approximately 20 years of service to the county, John Blickley bumped on up. Nick Rosalavich was promoted to Deputy Director of Administration at a salary of $72,000. Now that's over $74,000 with a 3% increase. This was a $30,000 increase in one fell swoop to just 2 positions, 2 salary positions. And that is going to be continued year after year after year. I'm wondering, Tony, did anyone in HR conduct a salary survey to see what EMA employees, directors, you're going to find that the title Deputy Director, Schuylkill County is probably one of the only counties in Pennsylvania that has that title. Interesting.
I love it.
So, okay, so I'm just wondering, did anyone do a salary survey? You guys have got to do your due diligence. Thank you.
Any other public comment for salary board? Human resources, personnel action.
We have one item in the sheriff's office, a wage adjustment for Jennifer Morgan, sheriff's captain, civil. The hourly rate is $29.8168, effective 3/4/24. That is all.
Have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
On the question,
Commissioner Fedora,
yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Controller Yekenship,
Yes.
Sheriff Grudy.
Yes.
Any new business for salary board? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
It's not,
You want the